You walk into the kitchen, you stop, you look left, you look right. Why am I here? You stand there for a solid 10 seconds, maybe 15, trying to reverse engineer your own brain. Nothing, it's gone. You walk back to the couch, sit down, and, oh, right, the charger. This happens to almost every human being on the planet. And for the longest time, we just called it forgetfulness. Blamed it on age, blamed it on stress, maybe even blamed it on Monday. But scientists actually figured out what's happening. And the answer is way more fascinating than you'd expect. Here's what's not happening. Your memory isn't failing you. You didn't forget. Not really. Your brain actually filed the thought away before you even knew it was gone. Let me explain. Back in 2011, a psychologist named Gabriel Radvansky and his team at the University of Notre Dame ran a series of experiments. They had participants navigate a virtual environment, picking up objects from tables and carrying them to other tables. Sometimes they walked across an open room to the next table. Other times they walked the exact same distance, but through a doorway into a new room. When they tested memory along the way, people who passed through a doorway were significantly more likely to forget what they were carrying. Same distance, same task, different result, just because of a door. They called it the doorway effect. And it cracked open something remarkable about the way your brain actually works. See, your brain doesn't store memories like a hard drive, one long continuous file. It organizes your experience into episodes, little chapters. And the end of each chapter, it's usually marked by something meaningful. A change in location, a change in context, a shift in your environment. Walking through a doorway is basically your brain going, okay, that scene is over, new scene starting, filing the old stuff, fresh page. It's called an event boundary, a mental bookmark that says, what happened back there belongs to a different episode than what's happening now. And here's the wild part. Your brain does this to help you. It's not a glitch, it's a feature. Imagine if every single detail of every room you'd ever been in stayed equally active in your mind at all times. You'd be absolutely overwhelmed. So your brain is constantly curating, keeping what's relevant now and archiving what was relevant then. The problem? Sometimes your intention to get the charger was so tied to the couch, to that room, to that mental episode, that when the new chapter opened, it got filed away with everything else. But here's where it gets really interesting. Radvansky's team ran a third experiment. They had participants walk through multiple doorways, including one that brought them back to the original room. If the memory was tied to that space, walking back should reload it, right? It didn't. Returning to the original room gave no reliable memory boost. The doorway had already filed the episode, the chapter was closed. Going back through doesn't reopen it. So what actually works? The answer is simple, and the science backs it up. Say it out loud before you move. Verbalizing your intention. I'm going to the kitchen to get the charger, as you stand up, creates a much stronger, more actively maintained memory trace. One that's far harder for an event boundary to erase. Picturing the object vividly helps too. Two memory channels, verbal and visual, are harder to disrupt than one. Your brain listens. Give it something to hold on to before you cross the threshold. So next time you're standing in a doorway with absolutely no idea why you're there, don't panic. Don't blame your age. Don't blame Monday. Your brain just published the last chapter. It's ready for what's next. You're not broken. You're not losing it. You're just running very, very efficient mental software. The kind that's been keeping humans organized since long before we had rooms or doors or chargers to forget about. Next time, just tell yourself where you're going. Out loud. Trust me. If your brain just did the thing where it found this video interesting, that's your hippocampus opening a new episode. Help it remember this channel exists, hit subscribe, and I'll keep feeding it things worth keeping. See you in the next one.